You know how we do the sound check, you guys. We just come on here, let you guys see or hear this who's gonna be the next artist for this coming up Tuesday, June 21st, 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time. I have the one, the only, the artist himself, Mr. Lawrence Law in the biz. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. We just sitting here just doing sound checks, so everybody they get to see you and everything, like, oh my god, look at
Mhm.
Lawrence Law. And just sit there, and so they know who the next artist coming up Tuesday, due to the fact that
Mhm.
it's Father's Day and you are a father. This coming up Sunday. Real
Too.
quick, let me ask you. Yes. Let me ask you real quick a quick question. What does Father's Day mean to you?
Well, I mean, considering I'm gonna say what Father's Day means to me as a black man, because they're all different kinds of fathers. But for me, it's special considering who I am as a black man, because there's always those little jokes that comedians always talk about when um they don't celebrate. They'll never give nothing, and then a lot of times when the women want to come on who are abandoned by the father of their child, like, I'm mommy and daddy too, and in some cases that is true. But for me, it's the celebration of real fathers like myself. So as a father of four and a grandfather of two, it's personal with me. Like, for me, on every level, in terms of being a father, but a black father who raised and took care of his children, living his dream. Because a lot of fathers had to sacrifice and give up a lot of stuff to raise their children, and that's commendable. Just so we clear, that's commendable. Sometimes in life you have to do that, and if my music career and if all the talents that I had didn't provide a way for me to make money, take care of my kids, I would have still been school teaching the way I was. I would have had a regular job. Like, you do what you got to do to make sure your children eat. So I was fortunate that my gift, as they say in the Bible, my gift made room for me. So for me, it was like, okay, I'm able to actually take care of my children, provide, and still love what I do, which is music. So, so that's what Father's Day means to me. Like, I'm able, a lot of people can't say that. I've seen a lot of people, those that had record deals and people, they had to give up their dreams when things didn't work out, to take care of their children. Like I said, still commendable no matter what. But you gotta remember, the industry does that whole number on you mentally. So it makes you feel like you're a nobody, especially if you had a number one record, or if you was in the top 10 and then all of a sudden things didn't go right with your record label and you're forced to get a regular job, but you're used to being catered a certain way, and now you got responsibilities and kids and all kind of things. I've seen that happen with a lot of people. No names being mentioned, but I've seen that happen with a lot of people. So that's what Father's Day means to me. Like, I'm proud and blessed to be a father of four grown as incredible children.
Yes, I like that. I love that. I thought I just hit you with a warm up question because that's how it is on Old School Tuesday Turn Up, and you are episode 31 of season 2. I'm
Yeah.
glad you are finally here. You are finally here. Then that's Tall Boy with the sound effects. You're gonna get sound effects. We gonna play a little game with you on Tuesday. This is how we turn
I'm with
up.
it. I'm with it. I'm
The
with
lie
it.
detector
Yes, on
test
Old
determined
School.
you are telling the truth.
Thank you.
He's
This is
funny
how
with
we
the
do
bites,
it.
man.
We before you
He's
know
funny.
it, this show is gonna become so big. I really don't know where this show is gonna take me. What I know right now, fans, we just Top Boy would tell you. I just had a fan on. I think we had a Felton on Pilots from
Ah,
Confunction two
man.
weeks.
Confunction. Yes.
Hold up.
I know who
Yes,
Felton is. Oh, yeah.
yeah, yeah. What a fan made a comment, P, don't you stay gone for so long. I'm like, that wasn't my fault. But it's like being on a stage. If you miss stage, or if you're not doing these interviews, keep going and keep going. Fans, they will let you know when Priscilla, when you come back on. Basically, that's what I get from my fans. When are you coming back on? So I had to
Mhm.
break the news just to tell them, like, to let you all know, for the first time, Old School Tuesday Turn Up is here for them all month of June, back to back to back interviews. And then on Tuesday night, when we had Stephen Russell, I had to break another news where we'll actually be on extended to July now. So we do, it's like, so it's like now the fans are like, okay, we're glued in, we're ready. We're ready. We'll see you have on next, because they just like hearing the stories. That's what it's all about.
That's good. I
Yes.
mean, that means you have an audience, and the thing is that people who love what the show is about. I mean, every podcast, every show is unique. So my thing is, I've always said, when you find your ground, like even with me, like my podcast, for the most part, I keep it through Instagram only. But look how successful I became doing that podcast run, because the thing is that everybody's always wanted to hear me give the conversations that me and Mars Dayton had, that you'll never be able to hear really unless you're around us, or we around, or people, or things like that. And the thing is, it's crazy because I was just, I'm in the house. Remember, our gigs were canceled. I'm just like, and my fans have been asking me for a long time. He said, you should have a radio show. You got all these incredible, wild stories of the people you work with. Because we see the pictures all the time, but we want to actually hear you either talk about it or actually bring on your heroes. And that's what I did. I said, let me bring on my heroes. So, of course, my first two guests are my best friends, Case and Nokio from Drew Hill. Those are my big brothers. So it's just so funny to me because that show was really, it took off. Next thing you know, numbers are growing, people are tuning in, and then, we had Kane. That's a family friend. Big Daddy Kane is my big brother forever. And then I think the one that everybody still talks about, of course, is the one with Vanessa Williams. I had my crush on my show.
I tell you, you had people on who I'm trying to get on. I started with, actually, Tallboy would tell you, before I had gotten Tallboy, I had Cheryl Cooley from Climax, and we did it through
Mhm.
Facebook, and it's with
Mhm.
regular our phones. Here and
Uh-huh.
then somehow Tallboy and I connected, and then the first person we had on who opened up Old School Tuesday Turnup is, of course, the legend herself, Evelyn Champagne King. When you have Evelyn Champagne, where do you go? You can, like, you have her open up my show, and from there, and right after her, I had back to what I had Robin S, CC Peniston, Shirley Jones from the Joan Girls, Sybil,
CC, my girl, I
Sherelle.
spoke to
They
CC
just,
this morning. Wow. Wow.
oh
It's
really?
crazy.
Yeah.
That's
So
one
we
of my
have
cl- that's one
all
of my
these.
close that's one of my close friends. So
Yes, yes. So we done had you done interviewed the same artist I have interviewed, and I told you about the ones, and you're like, man, you had them on. I'm like, yes, I done had certain people you haven't had on yet, and I told you, you gotta go get them. Like I told you, Pure Soul and Carolyn Towns, Anita Ward. I mean, I feel like those kind of artists, they get missed, and people don't give them the respect. So for me, I'm like, no, I'm gonna give them the respect that they deserve and go get them artists and interview them. Let
you
them
know
tell
why?
their
Because it's
story.
more. You know why? Because it's more than just. It's what CC told me when I had her on my show. We go, like I told you, we go back some
Hmm.
years. The thing, Cece said this to me, and I'll never forget it. Like I said, we talk all the time, but she really, in front of the world, when we had our little, we were having some issues with the Wi-Fi. It was crazy. But then I said, you know what? Bring me into your live. She said, oh, gladly. So she brought me into her live. So I'm at the bottom. She's on top. I'm like, this feels weird, but you know what? It's still a vibe. Let's get it going. And the first thing
Hmm.
she said, Lord, you know what I love about you? She was like,
Hold
besides
up, hold
everything else
up,
that I
hold up,
know
hold
about
up,
you.
hold up, hold up. You said you was on the bottom and she was on top.
I know you was gonna go there. I had a feeling you was gonna go there. It sounded weird, but you know what I mean. I'm talking about Instagram part,
Tallboy, text CC. Tallboy, text her.
he's a fool. I'm loving him already.
He is. That's my brother for you.
So
We
yeah. So
look.
so in any event, it's just crazy. But she
Hold
said
up.
to me, she said to me like, she said, you know what I love about you, Law? She said, because usually when I do these shows, everybody just wants to talk about Finally like it's the only record. I said, well, first of all, Finally, and none of the songs off your first album is even my favorite CD song. And she's like, I know. She's like, I read the post that you did, because Hit by Love is actually my favorite CC song. I love all her shit, but she said that's
Hmm.
what made it different for her. Same thing with Vanessa Williams. Vanessa Williams hit me up after the thing was over. She went in my DMs and was like, this is bar none probably top 5 of the best interviews I've ever done, because every time they bring Vanessa Williams on the show, they either talk about two things. They either talk about Save the Best for Last, which is not her only record, or they talk
Right.
about all the movie. And the movie part I understand, because she's a Hollywood A-list, Tony Award winner. I get that part, but nobody never talks about the fact that this girl has 3 platinum albums, Comfort Zone was actually better than her first album. And Next was even better album than that album. And then we don't talk about this. And then I showed her how real it was, and I showed her my actual CD. I said, I've had this since 1996. Her whole face lit up. She was like, "Wow." I'm like, "This is how serious I am. I'm not a hit single guy. Hit singles are easy for anybody to have. Let's talk about albums. Let's get into the people who you work with who are my mentors, like Chucky Booker and DOA and Mark Steven. Those are my guys. Those are my mentors in the industry, and they worked
We
on
had
all her albums.
we had Chucky Booker. I texted him, told him I'm up here interviewing stuff. Stephen Russell Hortz. He's like, I sent him the link, and he was up here watching.
Yeah.
And we had Top Boy had Felton in here watching along with him. They was all in here, and everything like that. So, and Chucky will be on actually, I think next month. I was like, so when am I gonna get you on the show so I can get you
Yeah,
so everybody can hear your
Chucky
story?
is hard. Chucky's hard to get. Because Chucky's either on stage with Lionel Richie at one point, and then him and DOA they're working on. They finally, Chucky Booker is finally after 25, 30 something years, he's finally doing a third album. Because people don't realize he never did a third album after his second album.
Right.
After he produced Troop and all that shit, he went straight to musical director heaven, which I understood, because when you're that bad of a musician that can play everything, you're going to be in constant demand, and they pay you top dollar. Whereas a producer, you can still make that kind of money, but unless you get a flat fee up front, you got to wait for royalties. Music director, you get your money in advance, and plus you get your per diem along with that if you don't spend your per diem. So, I know.
Yes. Okay, yes. Look, I got people texting me. My friend is up here. I'm watching you right now. I'm like, we only doing a sound check. So we gonna save all this good conversation on Tuesday night.
Yes, we are.
Because I'm a talker. But if we keep on, we're gonna talk all night. I know the basketball game
The
is
lie
on
detector
and
test
everything.
determined you are telling the truth.
Okay, my friend said
He's
here and
hilarious
see us
with that
talking.
shit.
Top Boy is amazing. And you're gonna see on Tuesday night. This, mind you, this is sound check. Tuesday night, you'll see some videos. I go and look for videos, pictures of people and everything, and have it playing while you're sitting here talking, so that it'll catch you up. We're like, wait, is that me? I sneak your stuff in there and everything. We just like to come have a ball. But you make sure you text CC and you tell CC, be like, look, I'm finally on Old School Tuesday. Turn up with Pricilla, and she'll let you know that's the show. Oh, I'm just playing. Yes, but it's the show.
I was waiting for I didn't want to say shit when the soundbite came on. I knew he was gonna come with it. So
yeah, hell no. Okay. But no, let me wrap it up. And Top Boy got your sound. He loved it. Everything is good. Everything's working.
Good.
And actually, Tuesday night after the interview, we talked to artists after the show and everything. But let me end it, and we're gonna hit you real quick. And everyone, thank you for watching Soundcheck. This was not an interview, but we wouldn't try to turn it into an interview. But however, lie
detector test determined that was a lie.
I can't.
See how he does.
I see.
But anyway, Law, happy Father's Day to you. You have a wonderful and safe weekend. And you stay blessed. And I will see you and all the fans back here Tuesday night, June 21st, 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time. Right here on Old School Tuesday. Turn up, and you're turning up with the one, the only, Pricilla Watley. That's me. Until then, you guys, enjoy your week. Have a good weekend. Holla, we out of here.
Ow. Yes, indeed.
Don't lose it.
I'm not.